Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Questions With. Last week we had some amazing guests on the show, and boy, did we deep dive into their worlds. But here's the best part. We also uncovered their fun and playful sides. Our host, Scott Fullerton, has a treat for you today. You see, 5 Questions isn't just about serious stuff. We like to keep it light and quirky too. We ask questions that let our guests show their wonderfully unique and playful sides. Imagine this. What would they do if they woke up as a squirrel one day? Or what's their favorite ice cream flavor that describes their personality? It's all about bringing out their hidden quirks and having a blast along the way. We believe that even the most successful and accomplished individuals have a fun side, and we're here to celebrate that. So get ready to witness the fun and playful side of our extraordinary guests. You'll laugh, you'll smile, and you might just discover a thing or two about them that you never knew. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for the show.
All right, you guys, if it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With right here on the Left of Str8 Show. Back with us from last week, we have 2 amazing guests, personal friends of mine that I love having on when I can. Mr. Emerson Collins and Mr. Blake McIver are back on the show. How are we doing, guys?
Oh, so good.
If you missed our full interview, be sure to check the link below. We talked about all of their amazing accomplishments and projects they've been working on for the past year. We did a great catch up with them. But we're going to play a little 5 questions. You guys ready?
Yes. Do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I love myself a little reality competition. So if Blake and Emerson had to pick a reality show, either like an adventure survival thing, like an Amazing Race, a crafty competition, a foodie competition, or a dancing competition, what would you guys like to compete on, and how would you do?
The Traders. If I could be on one reality show, it would be The Traders, and I would definitely win.
Nice.
I have no confidence in myself on any other reality shows, but when The Traders came out, I was like, that's mine, and I could win it.
And he's not wrong. And also, if I went on The Traders, I would be eliminated so fast.
That's funny. I would be the same way. I'd be horrible at that.
Because
it is a fun show, though.
I would do too much too early on, and people would be like, I don't know whether you're a traitor or not, but you're kind of annoying, so let's just find out and send you home. And the one we would actually do well together is The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
We really would probably do pretty well. Maybe not win, whatever, but it suits our approaches to like getting things done well.
I could see you guys on there. In fact, I think playing with this interview the same day, this comes out on the 26th, I'm going to have the Beyoncés, Ian and Joe, that are on the current season of Amazing Race on right now.
Oh, amazing.
So,
Cool.
you guys would do great on that. All right, question number 2. We talked a little bit about looks. I mean, you guys have both sported different looks over the year. We've had long hair Blake, we've had porn stash Blake, we've had short stubby hair Emerson, we've had the
bangs.
60s bob, yeah, the bangs. What has been your favorite look of each other, and what one have you tolerated on each other?
Wow, we're just going right out there. I actually don't like. I don't have any like. Oh, I didn't like that. When we first met, because this hair is his like life hair. That's like amazing. It's a staple. It's the forever. Like it just does this, y'all. Just so you know, like right out of the pool, out of the water. Like that's the shape it makes in life. Is amazing. But so early on when we met, he shaved it out of like wanting a new feeling, and I like really loved that phase for a while because his hair is so thick, and so it was just this like tiny tight like dude for a while. That was very fun.
Nice.
And then
we've talked ad nauseum about all of our various like looks changes with each other. So there's not like anything that would have been like would have already been vetted. But I will say the bangs got a polarizing response, and that's what the look that he had when we first started dating. And for me, they always were very Leonard Whiting from the Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet, and like that, and that was like one of my first film crushes ever. Like I remember watching that version in middle school and being like, "That's the most attractive man I've ever seen." And so it just reminded me of that.
And also, like, by the time we had like the bangs and everything and we were doing the people's couch and that how people met it, that like stayed that way. But when I first got it cut, I had a terrible hairdresser that like there's a couple of random photos from when like it was not maintaining well that look genuinely bonkers.
We call it the Joyce DeWitt era.
But it was like Joyce DeWitt, like it was a weird Prince Valiant at a time. Like that every time I went in to have her redo it, like the same, it like didn't come out the same, and it was traumatizing. And now I'm stuck in this this is fine, but I don't know what to do. I have this crazy cowlick. You can see it, those of you watching the video, that makes me bonkers, and I like am bored by this hair, but I don't know what to do. So
I drive my hair guy wild. I have to keep it short because I sleep so hard. I like push my head into the pillow and it makes these weird cowlicks all the time. They hate me. So I hear you. All right, question number 3. We talked about being Disney gays, of course, and loving this. If you could bring one character to life and spend a day with it, which character would you pick?
A Disney character?
Any Disney character you can hang with for a day.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Go.
Tiana.
Yes.
100% Tiana. Yeah, like hands down. Someone I would want to spend an entire day with. 100%.
And also like going with that, when we went to Gay Days at Disney, like the main point, like we went both days, and the big point was to get to like make sure that we had the dinner at the new Tiana's Palace, like the full Creole New Orleans experience that we definitely did. That was fantastic. And I'm like, I feel like I would pick actually like Lumiere in the first 7/8 of the movie. I feel like spending a day with like a character as a like live act, like that's hilarious. Because like probably my greatest personal Disney truth is Belle. Like I'm a Belle before I'm anything else. Like somewhere between a Belle and Aladdin. So that world. But I just feel like it'd be fun to have a friend that's literally a walking, talking candlestick for a day. Why not?
I love that. One of my friends makes that joke. He's a comedian. And he says that Lumiere is obviously the most gay creature of Disney because his hands are literally flaming. It's like, what can you do?
I mean, it's definitely possible there's a production of Beauty and the Beast with me as Lumiere looming in my future down the road somewhere. Okay.
There you go. All right. I'm going to get back to the personal again here. All right. Describe each other's morning routine in 3 hilarious words on the other. What cracks you up about their morning routine?
Do mine, and then I'll explain why I don't have 2 others.
3 words. Alarms after noon. Not really, I'm exaggerating, but neither one of us are morning people at all, and that's kind of like what works. But he makes me feel like really like I'm up and at 'em because I'm ever so slightly more like I wake up ever so slightly more early than he does, but like we both sleep in. We're most productive later in the day and into the evening, and like I've always been on theater schedule my whole life, so mornings are not my jam.
Yeah. His would be like hair, ambiance, workout.
Yeah.
Like that's his morning. But the reason I say that is I don't really know what his morning routine is because his always happens before I start my day. So I'm like aware of what happens in it. And he's being nice about it, but I'm one of those people that like sets 4 alarms. And if I have real work to do, I will get up at the 3rd one. If I have I have personal work I need to accomplish, I get up at the 4th one. But sometimes the 4th one is the snooze one, and I can snooze for like an hour. So he has to listen to alarms for like a full hour and a half, like every 9 minutes.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. I dated one of those kind of guys there. It's very, very different lifestyle to see how long it takes to get up.
It falls into the category of like you have to accept it about me and like learn how to tune it out and like go in the other room and do it because like it's not going to change. I'm so sorry. I know it's terrible. It is what it is.
There you go. All right, question number 5, guys. You're both such talented performers. I mean, from directing to singing to writing to doing so many producing. What is maybe a hidden talent the other person has that would be great in a different profession? If you had to pick a different profession for each other with their hidden talent, what would you pick for them?
Blake's would be a wig designer because like he can do hair, particularly synthetic hair. Like give him a dusty, dragged out, sad wig and he can like cut and style it like fully for like performance.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Blake, what is Emerson's hidden talent that would be another career for him?
I mean, his other career would definitely be like he should work at the UN. Because, like, as a negotiator, as a like being able to sift through horrific personalities and get like anything accomplished, like he'd be great at that. Where I would
You
be
are
out
so
in
good at
2
that. I
seconds.
mean, you can boil a situation down better than anyone I know, Emerson. That's why I
Yeah,
miss your
like
writing.
he's a great like common denominator thinker in a way that I'm like, shut up, go away.
All right. Well, guys, we survived 5 questions. Let all my listeners know again where they can follow you on social media and tell them where they can find the amazing Del Shores Foundation to find out different things going on, how they can contribute to that, Emerson.
Yeah, best place to find me is on Instagram at Blake McIver, just my name.
And mine too, Instagram at Emerson Collins. And then to check out all the work we're doing at the foundation, it's delshoresfoundation.org.
Terrific. Guys, thanks for playing 5 questions. If it's Tuesday, we'll be back with another 5 questions. We appreciate you tuning in. Stay in the line, guys. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. All righty, everyone. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 questions with. And back with me today, my friend, the very handsome and talented Mr. Artie O'Daly is back in the house. We talked last week all about his series Bad Boy, now streaming on Dekkoo and on YouTube. Season 1 was a fantastic murder mystery. I think we have another one, but season 2 is in the works now. Artie, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. So excited to have you back on the show. I love the Bad Boy merch. That shirt is fantastic. Do we have more of those available? Can you pick those up, or were those perks for the YouTube?
This was a perk for the Indiegogo fundraiser, the specific thing that says season 1+1, but there is plenty of other t-shirts and merch. And this graphic was done by Charlie Brannigan, this amazing artist. He does all the artwork from the end credits for season 1, but you can find it on YouTube or on Teespring and stuff like that. You can find links to my shirts.
Nice. I love it. I have to have a little Bad Boy merch for sure.
Everyone does.
Well, thanks so much for coming back. Are we ready to play a little 5 questions?
Ready.
All right. Question number 1. We talked about your trips and all these great travels you had in 2023. What is still on the bucket list, or what places do you really want to travel to next if you could afford it and money was no object?
Oh, I love that. Well, here's the thing. My number 1 goal had always been the ABBA Museum in Sweden. But when ABBA Voyage started in London, I went to that instead. So I still have the ABBA Museum on my list.
Nice.
So as the ABBA fan in me is like, well, I got to go to Sweden. I got to go to the museum. But outside of that, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. And it's stupid that I haven't. It's not that far from California, you know?
Yes.
So I just want to go lay in a waterfall, drink a Mai Tai, and have something nice and tropical and sexy.
There you go. Good choices. I like Sweden because you're not too far from going over to Amsterdam. So that could be a fun little visit there.
Oh, yeah.
Hawaii is honestly one of my favorite places. I've been there 8 times. I love Hawaii. You would enjoy it immensely.
8 times.
Well, it's like you said, I'm from California. I was born and raised in California.
Yeah.
So it's a quick little trip and back. And like I said, I'm 10 years older than you too. My dad's company would have conventions there. So he would take us a couple times. I went 3 or 4 times with my dad. And then I went on my own. That was honestly my high school graduation trip, was to Hawaii.
Oh my
Because
God.
back then, and I think it was $500 for a 4-day or 5-day, 4-night stay for our high school graduation trip. And then I won a trip there for a place I worked at. I won a week in Hawaii. So yeah, I love Hawaii.
Oh, you're so lucky. Is there a good like gay area in Hawaii? Is there like any?
Honolulu has some great. The Hula Bar is fantastic, and there is some great LGBT places in there.
Nice.
There's a nice little nude beach there, which is nice, not too far
Nice.
down from Diamond Head. Yeah, great place. You will love it when you're ready. When you plan your itinerary, let me know. I'll give you
There's
some
my
places.
2024 item. There we go.
All right, so we also talk about you like me and so many other of us gays love a lot of Disney, love a little of that fantasy stuff. If you had to swap lives with any Disney character for a day, who would it be and what mischief or adventures would you get into?
Oh my goodness, what a fun question. Which character would I swap places with? Here's the thing though, the characters go through such transition. Like my favorite Disney animated film, well, the two favorites are Pinocchio and The Emperor's New Groove. But if I swap places with Pinocchio, like I don't want to swap places with him until he's already a real boy, because everything he went through was terrible. Yes. But then it might be fun to be the Emperor in The Emperor's New Groove because he became friends with everyone at the end and still had the power. And had a great sense of humor. So I'm going to go with the Emperor at the end of Emperor's New Groove.
There you go. Good choice. I like that. And there's reasoning behind it. I like the reasoning as well. Very cool. Okay, question number 3. We talked about your interview. You've guest starred in so many great series from TV, from General Hospital to Scandal, Modern Family to Scrubs. And of course, you've created this amazing Bad Boy series. Name 2 or 3 series stars you've worked with that you would like to come guest star on Bad Boy.
These questions are phenomenal, Scott. If I could have anyone that I've worked with in the past, the first person I would pick, you might not know who she is unless you're a General Hospital fan. This woman named Bonnie Burrows who plays Gladys. I worked with her the last time I was in General Hospital. And as a person, she was so lovely and so fun that I've actually thought, I'm like, I wonder if she would ever do Bad Boy for me. So I'm going to put her first on the list. Second, I think I'd have to go Lee Pace from Pushing Daisies because he's so talented and so hot. So I would definitely want to work Lee Pace into the show. He would never do it. I'd put him there. And third, gotta quickly think of the shows. Oh, I would go Jim Parsons, Big Bang Theory, because he's very much supports like gay content and LGBT content, I should say, and is an ally. And it's also, not just an ally, he's a member of the community. But I feel like he would be proud of the work we do. So I would like to have someone around that was, be a cheerleader for the intention of what I have.
Those are amazing choices. And Lee Pace, oh my goodness. Ugh. Right. I agree with you 100% on that. So yeah.
The first time I saw him, like I was standing outside next to him. There was some like monkey there. It was a different day, and he was like looking at this monkey, and I was standing right next to him, and I was just looking at. First of all, he's super tall. I was just staring at his neck. I'm like, I want to bite his neck so bad because he's like the pheromones he gives off or something. You just want to like attack that. I
love that.
Jesus, he's hot.
I fell in love with him with that Calpurnia Adams flick, that Silver story that he did. Oh my goodness, yeah. And then Pushing Daisies was Kristen Chenoweth and him. Oh,
I know.
That's amazing. All right, question number 4. We talked about in the interview, you have a great love of music, a really cool vinyl record collection. You've done all the music on Bad Boy. If you were to create a theme song for Bad Boy, who would you want to sing it? And what would be some of the lyrics, maybe?
Oh, God. I doubt I can do the lyrics thing because I'm not a musical theater improv artist. Okay. You got to get Teresa to do that. But I feel if there was a Bad Boy theme song, this might seem crazy, but I'm hearing Debbie Gibson. I don't know why, but I feel like she would do it. Like if it was like some jazzy number. And so it's sort of like, because Debbie Gibson is also, you think 80s, you think throwback, but she's also just so fun and of my generation. That right. I would love a Bad Boy theme song sung by Debbie Gibson.
That's a great choice. Have her do the opening and have Tiffany do the closing credits.
Oh my God, yes. Maybe so.
All right, and question number 5. We're so excited for Bad Boy Season 2. It's going to be coming out very soon now. Who is your favorite bad boy on the silver screen or television?
You mean like, what do you mean? Define bad boy? Like a rough and tumble sort of guy?
It could be whatever you want it to be. Bad boy as far as just a fun bad boy to play. It could be a character they played. It could be just their persona in real life actor. I mean, you choose.
Oh, I'm terrible at this. I would want. I see. The thing is with the show Bad Boy, like all these bad boys aren't really that bad. I mean, they are if you look at their past, but they're relatively harmless. So, like, I'm picturing like Chris Pratt when he was on Parks and Rec. Like, he would be like a perfect example of a bad boy trying to be bad. Like, I could see him in like a leather jacket or something, but he's really just like a doofus. Like,
That's a good choice.
right?
Some of his outtakes are just hilarious being bad boy.
Oh my God, he's really a comedic genius. But yeah, something like that. In terms of like a real bad boy, like who could I don't know, John Wick, like Keanu Reeves. What if he like walked into the show? That would confuse everybody.
That'd be a whole different genre right there. That's for
right?
sure. Oh my goodness. All right, well, Artie Daly, you completed 5 questions. Thank you very much, sir. Let all of my listeners know where they can find this amazing series and where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on social media with my name, Artie O'Daly. You can find Bad Boy if you search Bad Boy Comedy Series or Bad Boy Series. It's on my YouTube channel. As mentioned, it's also on Dekkoo. I have a website, artieodaly.com. It will give you literally every link you need. So that's a good way to find me.
I love it. Well, guys, if you missed our full interview, be sure to check the link below. We had a fantastic talk catching up with Artie last week. Thanks for tuning in, because if it's Tuesday, it's time for 5 questions. Thanks, Artie. Have a good week.
You too.
Bye, everybody. Here. All righty, everyone. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 questions with right here on the Left of Str8 Show. I'm so happy to bring back from last week's interview, Mr. Michael Varrati is in the house. If you missed our full interview, the link is down below. Be sure to check it out. We talked all about spooky season and all of Mike's fantastic writing and directing and so much other things. Michael, welcome back to the Left of Str8 Show. Appreciate you coming back on for 5 questions.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to answer 5 questions, hopefully.
There you go. All right, question number 1 for you then. We'll jump right into it. You are fantastic, as we said, writer and director of different horror and monster movies. If you can do, this is a 2-parter.
Okay.
If you can do a monster makeover and turn any classic horror movie monster into a fabulously flamboyant character, who would it be? And what would you make for a venue for that character?
Oh, a venue. This is a really good question. And I'm sure that I have over the years thought of better answers to this, but it's that thing where the second someone asks, it leaves your head. A flamboyant makeover. The funny thing is some of the kind of pillars of the modern horror landscape, they're already sort of fabulous. Peaches and I talk all the time about how Freddy Krueger is essentially a drag queen in presentation and execution, pun intended. Very theatrical, kind of like the Ethel Merman of Fright. I kind of want to say someone who's not that. I guess I would go with Jason because he's so quiet. He doesn't really get his chance to be out loud and proud. I think that we could bedazzle the hockey mask, get him, some sort of designer jumpsuit. Let's like upgrade the material, maybe some heels, Although no, let's go with a flat. I know that flats are divisive amongst my drag comrades, but we have to remember that Jason's in the woods a lot, and you don't want your heels stuck in the mud. So like
you need sensible shoes, yes.
Yeah, we need some sensible flats, but like a designer jumpsuit, a bedazzled hockey mask. And I think that the venue has to be the camp musical. We always see Camp Crystal Lake before it's open, but let's give Jason the opportunity to do like a big number, maybe a dance performance piece, if Jason so chooses to remain quiet, at the camp end of summer jamboree.
I love that. And as a 2-parter for that, second part of it, when we're talking about classic, iconic characters, if you had to play matchmaker between 2 of them and make them gay, who do you think would make a killer couple, pun intended?
Who would make a killer couple? I think that I think that Carrie and the lead girl from Ginger Snaps would be a great couple. And it's sort of like when you consider the fact that in both of their stories, they're ostracized and also have problems with men. Let's just cut men out of the equation. Let's let these two ride off into the sunset, live their best lives, and leave high school and bro dudes behind.
Well said. I like a happy ending for all there. All right, question number 2, Michael. Help me settle the candy corn controversy once and for all. Is it a delight or a Halloween horror?
It's a delight. Full stop. It's one of the best things that you can get in the season. I know it's divisive, but actually I will say, and I've said this before, I love that candy corn's divisive. I think that anything that is worth its salt is controversial a little bit in this world, because horror is controversial, Halloween's controversial. So why shouldn't one of its key candies be something that is hotly debated? I love candy corn. I think it's wonderful. I look forward to it every year, but it also kind of delights me that people get big mad about it. It's high fructose corn syrup. Get over yourself. Like.
I like it. That's hilarious. Really good. All right. Question number 3. Haunted karaoke. What horror movie theme song would absolutely kill a karaoke night? And what's the best Halloweenish song around?
The best Halloweenish song around is the Monster Mash. It's a time-honored classic for a reason. It's also like the song that Bobby Boris Pickett was chasing for the rest of his career. He did many other Halloween-themed songs, but never quite to that success. And it's one that we still think about today. I love the Monster Mash. I actually, for my Halloween decorations, have the record. I have it on a record stand. I always bring it out and put it out. As far as like a Halloween karaoke song, I think, I don't know, maybe something from Rocky Horror, because it's such a crowd pleaser.
Can't go wrong with Little Rocky Horror. I love Meatloaf, so yeah, that'd be fine. All right. Question number 4. I mean, you're in the horror business, but everyone has their own fears. What personal phobia does Michael Varrati have? What are you scared of in real life? Anything?
Oh, people. I think that people are the scariest thing that you could ever throw at somebody. Like when you think about the most tangibly terrifying horror movies, I'm not necessarily worried about ghosts or vampires or, monsters. That is not to, discount anyone's belief in these things, but we have centuries of documented proof that the worst things that are done by human beings. So when I think of the horror movies that get under my skin, I think of things like The Strangers or Funny Games, these home invasion stories that are literally just pure maliciousness executed by another human being. So yeah, I think people scare me because they're scary.
Well said and so true. All right, and question number 5, Michael. What's been the biggest on-set or podcast disaster, and how did you recover from it?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm even allowed to tell this story. So I'll keep it vague. I was working on a show, and we were shooting a overnight sequence that involved an ambulance. And it was on a holiday weekend. And so I think that anybody who works, period, let alone in film, would understand that everything is overtime, everything's double time because it was a holiday. And when you are using any sort of specialty vehicle like a police car or an ambulance or something like that, unless someone privately owns them, you get them from these vehicle rental companies. And so we had someone driving this ambulance into set to shoot this overnight sequence. And we were out in the middle of the woods, and we were waiting and we were waiting and we were waiting. And then it hits the point where all of a sudden a new wave of PAs start showing up because they were getting there for the next setup that should have been happening way after the ambulance. And they were like, we saw the craziest thing on the drive in. There's an ambulance on the side of the road and it's on fire. And essentially what happened was the driver had been en route, felt his seat getting warm, got out to get his toolbox to look at it, and while he was in the back of the ambulance, the front seat exploded into there was a wiring issue, and it engulfed the ambulance in flames. And they couldn't even use the fire extinguisher because it wasn't real, because it was a fake fire extinguisher for the movie. So I mean, luckily the man stopped because his seat was warm, and he was safe, and the only thing that was damaged was this vehicle, and it didn't happen on the set, so it was not a problem for us in a legal way, but it was certainly alarming because it's dangerous. And I do have videos somewhere of this actual burning vehicle on the side of the road. And then kind of the subsequent follow-up where then in the middle of the night they had to get some other guy to bring another ambulance in, and that ambulance's battery died, and it was a whole other thing. But once you have an exploding car, but for real, not in a movie way, happen on set, you can pretty much roll with any other punch after that.
Right. Oh my gosh. That is a crazy story. Well, Michael Varrati, we had so much fun talking last week. I appreciate you answering 5 questions. Guys, if you want a great podcast, Midnight Mass is out there. It has a fun Instagram. Let everyone know where they can find you, Michael.
I am on X and Instagram at Michael Varrati. Midnight Mass comes out every other Wednesday at midnight, wherever podcasts are found.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, if it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. We appreciate you listening in. We'll be back next week. Have a great day. Thanks, Michael. Bye-bye. All right, everyone. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions With. Welcome back to the Left of Str8 Show, everyone. I'm your host, Scott Fullerton, and with me today, I'm bringing back my very special guest for last week. Mike Zara is in the studio with me. We had a fantastic conversation last week. If you missed it, be sure to check the link in the studio below. Mike has written on some of my favorite shows, Major Crimes among them, GBC with the gorgeous Kristen Chenoweth, and has created his own company called Toy Stories, where he's kind of helping develop other entertainment and toy-based venues. So, Mike, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Had a great time chatting last week. Are you ready to play a little 5 questions, though?
Let's do it.
All right. Question number 1. We talked last week about you being passionate about storytelling, character-driven stories. You've written for some iconic women of the years, from Mary McDonnell, Kristen Chenoweth, Jennifer Love Hewitt. What's one of your most memorable lines you remember from a leading lady that you love, either you wrote or someone else?
Oh, geez. Oh, God. I'm like, is this timed? I mean, it's probably something from Letters to Satan Claus, because that's the one freshest in my head. Oh, man. God, I'm really trying to... It's when Holly, my lead in Letters to Satan Claus, she basically writes a letter to Satan to basically battle with them. She puts it in the Santa box and says, "It's on, bitch." That's kind of one of the lines.
Who is an iconic woman you would love to write for? Let's change it up a little bit.
Let's see. Iconic. I'm not into, popularity contests, but there are just certain actors that I love. I love Betty Gilpin. I would love to write for her. I have written for her and I would love to write for her again, but Missy Pyle, I just think is so underused and she should have her own series. She's so great. There's a lot of them. Basically any actress that has a series or movie I would write for, because I don't know. The female energy speaks to me. So, and then
That's awesome.
Speak it out of my, laptop.
I love that. All right. Question number 2. We talked about Letters to Satan Claus. It's a great mashup of holiday and horror flicks. What are 2 other genres you might want to slap together into a feature of some kind? What are any 2 favorite holidays or movie genres you'd like to work on and mix them?
I mean, again, the 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 horror thing is always there. I'm trying to figure out like a romantic comedy horror mashup. So yeah, it's always got to have a little blood in it, I think.
There you go. All right, question number 3. If you had a magic pen that can turn any fictional character to life for a day, who would you want to bring to life, and what adventure would you guys go on?
That is so great. Sheesh. Boy, I guess I'm not good on the spot. I mean, I think like we talked about last time, Kelly Taylor, Jenny Garth from 90210, I probably would transport back to 1993 and yeah, basically just be one of the cool kids with her on the show, you know?
There you go. You and Jenny at the Peach Pit. I love that. That's amazing.
And the red BMW convertible. Yeah.
Speaking iconic female characters, all 3 of those, goodness gracious, from Jenny Garth and Tori and from, Shannon Doherty. That would be amazing. Very cool. All right. Question number 4. We're talking about you creating this great company, Toy Stories, which is just bringing to life some great characters. What if you had a couple of classics thrown to you and you had maybe a Rubik's Cube, a Frisbee, or some Play-Doh? How could you create that into something fun and exciting?
One of those 3?
Sure.
I mean, I feel like Play-Doh's the easiest one because you can make anything out of Play-Doh. So I would do some sort of fun, maybe like subvert it and make it like sort of like an adult claymation show with Play-Doh.
There you go. And question number 5. Your Toy Stories with a Z, if we went to Toy Stories, the franchise, what character would you want to hang out with for a day from there? Or who would you swap lives with for a day?
Oh, that's funny. Look, I'm just going to stereotype myself and just say Barbie, you know?
Nice. Nice. I like it. All right, Mike, Zara, you made it through 5 questions. Again, guys, check out our full interview down below. We had a great chat last week. Mike, I wish you continued success in everything you do. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. Let everyone know again where they can find you on social media. And if they have a great idea, they want to pitch a toy story, where they can find your great website for them.
Sure. Yes, it's Zara Shots on Instagram and toystories.com. That's with a Z at the end.
Very good. Mike, Zara, thanks again. Guys, look for us next week. If it's Tuesday, it's always time for another 5 questions with. We'll see you next week. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Left of Str8 Show. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast distributor, and please give us a 5-star rating so more listeners can find us. You can follow us on social media, and be sure to check out our website, www.leftofstr8radio.com, for contests and other news and information. See you next week.